And hello there. Welcome again to Effective Evolution. And today we're in for a real treat. We're going over MSL's 4687. And you are encouraged to usurp this panorama without any transformation gadgets at first. But as we incorporate some of the various shadow revelation tools or whatnot to bring out detail, you'll notice that there is a ledge with some type of object, i.e., a living creature, behind it. And it does look like it's actually focusing in on the rover. And there are some other interesting items with detail that we'll go over as well. And there's also a background that seems to have intricate designs and details. And you can only imagine what these would imply. So let's get right to it, and please enjoy. Hello, and welcome to Effective Evolution. And today we're in for a big treat, and this is a creation by Mr. Neville Thompson, and it is the Mars Science Laboratory 4687. And this is the gem right here. And just notice the background, contours, linear patterns or whatnot here. And some areas, this seems to be some type of face. And just notice this ledge here. There seems to be some type of object, perhaps a living object, hitting behind it, maybe even something alive that's motoring in this direction. But we'll probe that a little further, and there are also other interesting objects all over the place here. Around here, and in the background here, and over here. Specifically this area here as well. And it's just a matter of getting more familiar with things, as usual. And this area would be with that ledge here, so to speak, and what appears to be a hand, a limb here, maybe the left limb, and this would be the right limb, and shoulder area, some type of face, eyes, nose, teeth, mouth, head. Interesting patterns of design in the background here as well. And we're going ahead with the panorama. This is MSL 4687. And these are the areas we'll be zooming in on, so to speak. There are patterns of design all over the place, as usual. And this is a very revealing panorama. Structures that require some time investment to account for their creation or whatnot. You can notice this structure in this background and the object we just mentioned, which we'll probe further. Very bizarre creations. And this seems to be on some type of angle in the background. The rover would be around here somewhere. Maybe this creature or whatnot is actually having a gander at the rover. That's on this terrain that has some slope to it. As mentioned, there seems to be, don't want pareidolia to get the better of us, but this could be some type of face, maybe some fish or whatnot, and that was preserved over time. This would be a big eye, mouth, and nasal cavity. Side and interesting structures on this side as well. And this is what the whole panorama looks like. And it's always nice to be able to gain some more detail or whatnot. And after a while, of course, as usual, you start to notice things and just notice the shadows in the background here, this face-like object and designs in the background here just seem to pop. Intricate designs and linear patterns or whatnot. We implement the dodge tool to enhance the lighter areas of this panorama of MSL 4687. This is the product, and please bear in mind the areas that we noted in the highlights, and please observe the substantial patterns of design and symmetry. That was chosen with the Mars Science Laboratory designs on this slope here as well. And you have to ask yourself how the rover took this photo or whatnot, and it was probably on a type of slope And this area here is at a very oblique angle. And this creature or whatnot is quite interesting. Probably paying some attention to the rover that's in this direction here. We're using the shadow tool to bring out the more shadowy areas in the quest of more detail, and perhaps you can notice those areas that we have become a bit more familiar with this type of mode, and just notice the shadows and patterns, designs all over the place, interesting objects, and our friend here, and the symmetry, the linear patterns, just amazing landform architecture. Could these be some types of structures indicating dwellings or whatnot? Are these the structures and or parts of living organisms that were once on Mars? Is this part of some machinery? Interesting design here. Looks like some type of face or whatnot etched into the background on the terrain. Interesting objects here. And that interesting face-like structure. There is a very amazing area in this panorama of Mars MSL's 4687, and that's the area here. Now, this is some type of ledge, and this is the background, and this is the area here that has interesting contours and patterns, symmetry, quite mesmerizing. And with the aid of the infrared tool, we can zoom in a bit on here and just have a gander at this. Here's our friend and the interesting designs in the background here. That face-like, fish-like section. Just amazing designs in the background here. Is this all interconnected or whatnot? Seems to be pipes and cylinders and the like, you know, it's quite organized. Very amazing patterns, and those minute globs seem to have taken another shape here into a type of district or whatnot. Just note the patterns here. Could this be some type of spaceship hidden? And is this some type of entrance or platform of some sort? Just amazing designs. It's time to get more particular with some areas of the panorama of MSL's 4687. And as we noted at the start, there is a very interesting area here. This could be some type of creature that's hiding behind this ledge or on its way to get over the ledge, maybe to get at the rover or whatnot, and interesting objects and items here too. And zooming in a bit, we get to this type of mode. And just notice the items and their location. And adding some tint to it, perhaps a darker reddish tint. Perhaps we can bring out some more detail. Are these part of one large object, or are they totally different objects? And just adding some tint to our friend here, you can notice the patterns on the face and the hand, limbs, as well as the other items here. And there is very uniform design here. It does look like some type of living organism. The type of gesture on the face is quite notable as well. It needs to be very intense and focused on getting over this ledge here to get at something. And these objects are very notable as well. And if we make a note of the other objects too, this is what we get. Very amazing detail. Of gaining some more insight on this particular design here, we could employ some more observation. Now just notice the contours here, the linear triangular pattern, circular pattern here as well. And you get some type of design such as this, and I don't want to get too pixelated, but there are shadows here indicative of planned design, amazing symmetry and landform architecture. Is this a building or some type of craft? And adding some color to it, you can see that there is a pattern there. There are designs on this item. indicative of plan creation. Perhaps with another type of tint. You can see that it does stand out somewhat. Notable areas to discover would be areas such as here. That is this object here. And please make a note of this. There are quite a bit of linear patterns here and symmetry, geometrical designs. And of course, it does imply that this item has been created with some intelligent planning. Is it machinery? Is it parts of equipment or whatnot? And with regards to this area here, adding some light onto it, you can see that there are very interesting designs in here. There seem to be dome-like creations. Are these observation areas or whatnot? And here is our friend in the endeavor to climb up this ledge or whatnot. Designs all over the place. And just notice how this object kind of sticks out from the rest of the surface here. And all of the intricate patterns here as well. Adding some more controls to this particular panorama, particularly the contrast and brightness gadget and the shadow tool. You can see that there are definite patterns here. Could this be a craft of some sort that's parked on this slope or whatnot? And are these domed structures in the background? Perhaps to monitor activity on this side of Mars? And just notice this intricate design here with structures that seem to rise up in this direction and the intricate structure here, perhaps types of pipes and machinery, not to mention interesting shapes and designs of items on the terrain. And our friend here seems to have a more robotic form. There seems to be intricate designs on this arm. Indicating it's some type of robot or whatnot. And face seems to be more menacing, so to say, but and of course a somewhat clenched other hand or whatnot. And items right here in the foreground, and all kinds of geometrical patterns on these objects here. Is this some type of drumstick or whatnot? And various shapes and designs. And are we looking at a background here that has water on the top of the surface? Just interesting to ponder. This panorama of Mars, the MSL's 4687, created by Mr. Neville Thompson. And tying things up then with this panorama, MSL's 4687, created by Mr. Neville Thompson of Gigapan fame and fortune, you must admit that there are some questions that arise. In particular, why was this panorama chosen? And is that a living creature that's behind that cliff or ledge like linear construction or whatever it is? And is it, in fact, paying attention to the rover? As well as the object in the background, the triangular shaped object, is that a parked vehicle of some sort, i.e., an extraterrestrial craft? What type of scale are we looking at here? And is that background, in fact, covered with a medium, such as a liquid of some sort, water or liquid hydrogen or nitrogen or whatnot? And are those observation towers, those perfectly shaped domes or whatnot in the background and underneath the height of that creature's position, and all of the other objects that are near to that quote creature or whatnot, and we'll call it the Martian or whatnot. And how were these created? How did they get there? And is this indicative of a civilization that was there on Mars previously and will be back again, or possibly there at the present time? And as usual, you're encouraged to go over these panoramas at your leisure and come up with your own thoughts and ideas and imagination. And until next time, thank you once again on behalf of Effective Evolution. Thank you for your time.